We begin the news with the concerns of some Nigerians over some acts of the president considered capable of eroding the nation's democracy. 17 prominent Nigerians, including Chidi Odinkalu, Babafemi Ojudu, and Richard Akinola, have warned President Bola Ahmed Tinubu against moves they say are eroding Nigeria's democracy and pushing the country towards a one-party state. In a statement titled "Defending Democracy, a Call to Resist the March Towards a One-Party State in Nigeria," and made available to newsmen on Sunday, the group expressed alarm at what they described as a calculated and systematic effort by the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to dismantle the democratic foundations of our republic. They accused the administration of using bribery, blackmail, and coercion to weaken opposition parties, claiming that political figures are defecting to the ruling party not out of conviction, but out of fear and pressure. The signatories said Nigeria risks returning to a culture of impunity where the absence of opposition could lead to arrogance and unaccountable governance, and called for the protection of the country's multi-party architecture. Meanwhile, the presidency has dismissed claims that democracy is under threat following recent defections of key opposition figures to the ruling All Progressives Congress, APC. In a statement on Sunday, Presidential Advisor Bayo Onanuga said the movement of politicians into the APC reflects freedom of association, not a drift towards authoritarianism. He cited that the defection of Akwa Ibom and Delta governors, among others, as political realignments within a healthy democracy. Onanuga accused opposition figures of hypocrisy and failing in their duties, adding that the president remains committed to a vibrant multi-party system. The presidency insists Nigerians are joining the APC voluntarily based on confidence in Tinubu's reforms. Meanwhile, Abia State Governor Alex Oti has dismissed reports suggesting that he is planning to defect to the All Progressives Congress from the Labour Party. In a statement issued by his special advisor on media and publicity, Ferdinand Okeoma, the governor clarified that he neither held any meeting with Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma nor discussed plans to join the APC. He explained that following the National Economic Council meeting on Thursday, 24th April, Governor Oti, alongside a few of his colleagues, had attended the birthday celebration of Governor Uzodinma's twin daughters, a purely social event unconnected to politics. Okeoma stressed that any major political move by Governor Oti must be justified and demonstrably in the overriding interest of the Abia people. The Deputy National Chairman of the Labour Party, Dr. Ayo Olorunfemi, has advised the 2023 Labour Party presidential candidate, Peter Obi, to ignore all calls to dump the party ahead of the 2027 general election. Olorunfemi, who was the LP candidate in the 2024 Ondo governorship election, told journalists on Sunday in Lagos that Obi should rather focus on rebuilding the party. Olorunfemi, who noted that though Obi was at liberty under the law to associate with any political party of his choice, he said that he needed to be wary of what he called dangerous advances. Noting that Obi could resolve the crisis in LP, Olorunfemi said that some aspirants shelved their ambitions in 2022 to allow Obi to use the LP platform to run for president. He, however, said that if Obi decided to dump the LP, the party would continue to exist as a strong opposition party. The federal government has announced the early reopening of Akanoabiam International Airport in Enugu following swift completion of runway repairs. Originally scheduled to reopen on May 6, the airport will now resume operations on Monday, April 28, 2025. Aviation Minister Festus Keyamo shared the update via social media, praising the team's efforts to finish ahead of schedule. The airport had been temporarily closed after a rupture was discovered on the critical section of the runway. The Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria, FAN, had initiated emergency repairs on April 22nd to ensure passenger safety. The reopening brings relief to travelers and restores full operations to the key southeastern aviation hub. Now to security matters. There are reports that suspected Boko Haram terrorists have killed 14 farmers and 2 civilian joint task force members at different locations within Gwoza local government area of Borno State. The civilian JTF members were reportedly killed in an ambush at Sabangari near Kirawa, while returning from routine patrol in their vehicle on Friday. According to sources in Gwoza, the terrorists laid an ambush for the volunteers and opened fire on them, killing 2 while the driver escaped with injuries. Meanwhile, the farmers were killed while on their way to the farm on Saturday, I beg your pardon. Now, according to the Emir of Gwoza, Muhammad Idris Timta, the farmers went beyond the area approved for locals to farm, and unfortunately, the terrorists were there. He said the farmers were not having any security backup as required. The attack happened in a community directly under the Mandara Mountains between Pulka and Ngoshe. Meanwhile, the General Officer Commanding 3 Armored Division and Commander Operation Safe Haven, Major General Folusho Oyinlola, has called for the collective commitment of all stakeholders in Sanga local government area of Kaduna State for a peaceful farming season across the state. Major General Oyinlola made this call during a Peace and Unity Summit and football competition in the locality for a rancor-free farming season. News Central's Chizoba Anyonwe was there for News Central.
This is the second time Operation Safe Haven is organizing this kind of event for the safety of both lives, farm produce, and cattle as the farming season sets in. This time around, under the command of Major General Folusho Oyinlola, the GOC 3 Division, and Commander Operation Safe Haven, with the theme Peaceful Coexistence Towards a Successful Farming Season, these stakeholders are expected to play according to the rules.
I am well aware of the recurring challenges that accompany the farming season, including farm disruptions and attacks on livestock. This segment provides a vital platform for dialogue and the development of practical modalities for a peaceful and productive farming season.
These scholars gathered here speak to the minds of these farmers for a hitch-free farming season.
The issue is manipulation of tribe and religion. So it must be discarded. It's one of the way forward. All these politicians that are manipulating politics with religion and tribalism in order to achieve their own selfish interests, it must be checked.
We must take a decision, personal decision, to be committed to peaceful coexistence. Each stakeholder must play their own role. The security, the legislative, all of them, we must play our parts.
For these locals, anything that will secure their lives and means of livelihood will be appreciated.
We need more security. When we have them enough, I think all those things will stop.
We have to have ourselves first. We have to be alert. Once you see someone that is a foreigner, you don't understand that person. You need to call the attention of the security men.
The commander further unveiled some motorcycles to enhance security in the area and thereafter kicked off a football tournament in his honor. With the charges of the GOC here, one would expect that these stakeholders here will take back home the message learned from this event to step it down to other stakeholders who were not able to make it here to ensure that the next farming season will be a hitch-free one for both farmers and herders in Sanga local government area. From Kaduna State for News Central, Chizoba Anyonwe.
Still talking security, Nigerian police have rescued 10 kidnapped victims following a gun battle with bandits along Funtua-Gusau Highway in Katsina State. Now, the victims, 2 drivers and 8 passengers, were freed unhurt after officers from the Faskari Division engaged the kidnappers on April 19, forcing them to flee with gunshot wounds. The victims have since been reunited with their families. In a separate operation, the police arrested Umar Ahmed, a 40-year-old notorious criminal wanted for months during a roadblock in Jalingo, Taraba State. The arrest, conducted with support from local vigilantes, led to the recovery of 2 AK-47 rifles, one confirmed as stolen from the police. Investigations into both cases are ongoing. Away from that, Nigeria's NDLEA, in a sweeping anti-narcotics operation, raided a luxury hotel in Victoria Island, Lagos, seizing illicit drugs worth over 1 billion naira. The 80 Rock Hook Hotel, also known as Caesar Hotel, was used to distribute 589 bags of Canadian loud. Now, 3 suspects were arrested, with more on the run. In other operations, over 2 million opioid pills were intercepted in Kano and Jigawa, while cocaine hidden in body cream was seized en route to Saudi Arabia. 3 Ghanaian women were caught smuggling cannabis at Seme border, and more arrests followed in Edo, Lagos, and Kano. NDLEA Chairman Buba Marwa praised the agency's efforts in balancing enforcement with nationwide drug education. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has warned operators of bureau de change and other business stakeholders across the country against illegal cash smuggling. Now, the agency emphasized the severe repercussions of non-compliance with Nigeria's financial regulations. The executive chairman of EFCC, Ola Olukoede, gave the warning in Kano at a joint sensitization program organized by the Nigeria Customs Service. Also organized by the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission and the EFCC to educate participants on legal protocols for cash movement across Nigerian borders. The news continues after the break. Stay with us. Now, still on financial crimes, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has cautioned Nigerians against the excessive desire for money. The agency issued the advice in a terse post on its X handle on Sunday. Now, this is coming amid ongoing investigation into the alleged fraud perpetrated by a digital investment platform, crypto bank exchange, that's also known as CBEX. CBEX had reportedly crashed on April 14, leading to the loss of billions of naira belonging to Nigerian investors. Several videos online had shown some Nigerians raising the alarm over the loss of their funds to the scheme. The EFCC had on Friday declared 8 persons wanted over their alleged involvement in a fraudulent scheme linked to the online trading platform. The Nigerian Meteorological Agency has said that thunderstorms and hazy weather will affect many parts of the country between Sunday and Tuesday. In a weather update shared on Saturday in Abuja, NIMET said there will be moderate dust haze in states like Katsina, Sokoto, Zamfara, Borno, Kano, Yobe, and Jigawa. Now, the agency also said that Adamawa and Taraba states would likely see isolated thunderstorms during the forecast period. For the North Central region, NIMET said people should expect partly cloudy skies in the morning. In the south, morning thunderstorms are likely in Lagos, Cross Rivers, Bayelsa, and Akwa Ibom states, with more thunderstorms later in the day across other southern states. There are reports that millions of persons with disabilities in Nigeria continue to face daily struggles, not just from their conditions, but from a society that is yet to fully include them. From a lack of sufficient homes to cater to their needs, to limited job opportunities, many persons with disabilities are left behind despite their talents, skills, and dreams. According to CODISA, a non-governmental organization, the number of homes taking care of PWDs in the country is not commensurate with their population and the amount of support needed for persons with special needs. The call is for all Nigerians to be intentional with the needs of the people with disabilities. Their demand is simple: inclusion, not isolation. A ramp instead of a step. A chance instead of a maybe later. As Nigerians, they believe that the strength is in our unity, and that includes everyone. So they've urged people to speak up, show up, and support persons with disabilities, because when they lift one, they lift all. Friends, family, and creme de la creme of Nigeria's political elites have extolled the life and times of Nigeria's former Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, Dubem Onya. Onya, who died at the age of 73 after a brief illness, was a member of the cabinet of former President Olusegun Obasanjo. Our former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, during his night of tributes in Abuja, described the late former federal minister as a patriot dedicated to the cause of Nigeria. Others in attendance say his impact on Nigeria's foreign policy cannot be overemphasized, as he left indelible prints in charting a direction for the nation in its engagement with the international community. Onya was the National Secretary of the People's Consensus Party, as well as one of its founding members, a national officer of the People's Democratic Party, a philanthropist, and later served as the chairman of the Nigerian Sao Tome and Principe Joint Boundary Commission.
He was a patriot, dedicated and loyal patriot. And today, we are here to remember him.
In our lifetime, the space of our lifetime permits us to pursue three courses. One, to build a family. Two, to build a career. Three, to build relationships. And I want to say that in the life of our friend and our brother, Dubem Onya, we can all testify that he built a family.
He was very honest, a diplomat, a great diplomat who transformed Nigeria's foreign policy from military diplomacy to democratic diplomacy.
This is a road that all of us will pass through. So the most important thing is to pray for the departed. God will not keep you if he had not kept Jesus Christ, who he took at 33 years of age. He took Prophet Muhammad at 63 years of age. So if he could take those two, I don't know about you, no matter how long he will be.
Oya died as one of Nigeria's finest public servants who dedicated his life to the service of the people.
Nigeria's foremost pan-African station, News Central TV, held a road campaign in Lagos connecting with grassroots communities while sharing gifts and spreading excitement. Now, News Central's Igbalani Omoniyi captured the vibrant reactions of Lagosians as they discovered more about what sets News Central apart from other broadcasters.
We're live on the bustling streets of Lagos as host a road activation campaign to raise awareness and viewership of its platform on GoTV channel 23. And as you can see behind me, the activation is on.
The campaign taking place along the busy Oshodi CMS Aja corridor features interactive activities, lively discussions and giveaways.
So please tell me, how do you feel having this umbrella, this gift?
Good, I feel very happy.
News Central.
For sure. Thank you, News Central. More blessings.
It has provided an opportunity for Lagosians to learn more about News Central TV's mission to bring news closer to the grassroots and to offer a platform for everyday people to share their stories.
News Central of my is audio tour, water.
I'm following one of my friends that do advertise about the channel on Twitter. So I'm following him. His name is I think Tony Morris. So I'm following him on Twitter. He's my friend on Twitter. That's how I got to know about the News Central. They are very open, and they give the platform to the young people to express themselves, and also talks about the current issue affecting this country presently. That's what I really like about it. I just pray that they will keep it up that way.
While engaging with Lagosians, the team is highlighting what sets News Central TV apart from other stations and the unique value viewers gain by tuning in.
We are making quality news accessible to all, not just the A class, but of course to the grassroots, and that's why we're here today, and that's why we decided to launch on GoTV, to make sure that we're providing quality news and not propaganda news to everybody, from the A class to the D class. Everybody deserves to get access to quality news, so that is one of the things that makes us different.
At News Central TV, we believe that everyone has a story worth telling. We remain committed to telling authentic African stories and amplifying diverse voices across the continent. In Lagos for News Central,
I love News Central!
Igbalani Omani.
Away from Nigeria, the reality of daily life for citizens in Lesotho remains harsh 3 years after the elections. Now, while there have been efforts to tackle the pressing challenges, the responses have left citizens with mixed feelings. News Central's Bongani Siziba is in Lesotho. Let's hear more from there.
A very good afternoon, and thank you for having me. I'm coming live from the Kingdom of Lesotho. It's been 3 years since the last general elections in this country, and there was anticipation for change. Citizens had high hopes when Sam Matekane was elected as the new prime minister, promising reforms and improvements. But today we are here to find out if the change that so many hoped for has indeed materialized. I'm here on the busy streets of Maseru, where the voices of the people matters most. And let's hear what the citizens have to say about the changes they have seen or experienced over the past 3 years since the election time.
The economy, I think the economy of Lesotho is very poor. That's all I can say, because the tax is high in our country. We cannot afford some certain things, right? So yeah, I can think the economy of this country is not good enough, especially to support the youth, supporting them, giving them jobs. Yeah, that's what the youth is looking for.
I feel the current government is coming along well so far. With the first financial report that we got, things were looking bad. They were really looking bad, because it was like we were in financial crisis. We have been facing the challenge for the longest time. I think since about before 2010. So you can see we have a bunch of graduates not working, and with the state that they found the government with, I think I can't say they have done much, if there is anything they have done, but with the planning that they have been reporting, I think things are promising that in years to come, our unemployment problem will be somehow sorted.
As we hear these views, it's clear that challenges remain. Drought, high unemployment, and water scarcity are still pressing concerns for many citizens here. 3 years in, and while they were hoping for high change, the citizens of Lesotho are voicing their frustrations and the efforts that have been made of realities of life remains on the ground very tough for them. So we spoke to these citizens just to hear how about they feel the government that took over 3 years ago, if indeed they have resolved some of the problems that they were facing. So we'll still continue bringing you stories from Lesotho, and from me, Bongani Siziba. It's back to you in the studio.
In Algeria, a deadly landslide has claimed 4 lives and injured 13 others in the western coastal city of Oran. The disaster struck late Saturday in the Hai Essanouber district, collapsing 5 tin houses. Now, according to the Civil Defense Agency, the victims ranged in age from 5 to 43, while the injured, aged between 12 and 75, are being treated for various wounds. Authorities have confirmed that no one is missing, making the current death toll final. The Interior Ministry has not disclosed the cause of the landslide. The incident highlights the vulnerability of informal housing in disaster-prone areas. Emergency services responded swiftly, and an investigation is now underway to determine what triggered the collapse. In Kigali, Rwanda, 3 top officials from the country's Mines, Petroleum and Gas Board have been arrested, along with 4 businessmen in a sweeping corruption probe. The Rwanda Investigation Bureau says the arrests of Augustine Romushana, John Kanyangira, and Richard Niyongabo relate to alleged abuses of power, unlawful wealth accumulation, and money laundering. Now, the crackdown comes amidst growing scrutiny of Rwanda's mineral sector following EU sanctions on the board's head, Francis Kamanzi, over ties to the M23 rebel group in the Democratic Republic of Congo. The UN has accused Rwanda of exploiting DRC's mineral resources via armed proxies, a charge Kigali denies. Investigations into the officials' possible links to illicit mineral trafficking are ongoing. Namibia's President Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah has dismissed Agriculture Minister Dr. McAlbert Hengari amid an ongoing investigation into allegations of rape, according to her office on Sunday. Our local media reports that a minor has accused Hengari of the crime, and he may also face charges for abduction and illegal abortion. Hengari's removal from office takes effect from April 23, 2025, and the investigation into the minister's actions is being closely followed by the police. This move marks another significant action under Nandi-Ndaitwah, who became Namibia's first female president in March 2025. Nandi-Ndaitwah from the SWAPO party has taken firm steps to address serious allegations across high-ranking officials within her government. Now, in other news from around the world, all eyes turned to the conclave after Pope Francis was laid to rest. The secretive meeting of cardinals set to convene within days to elect a new head of the Catholic Church. Now, mourners were permitted to visit his tomb for the first time on Sunday, a day after an estimated 400,000 people, including world leaders, turned out for the Argentine's funeral at the Vatican and burial in Rome. The crowds were a testament to the popularity of Francis, an energetic reformer who championed the poorest and most vulnerable. Many of those mourning the late Pope, who died on Monday, aged 88, expressed anxiety about who will succeed him. Now, for more on the ongoing transition of power in the Catholic Church, I'm joined by Reverend Father Theophilus A. Hyogilen. Father Theophilus is a Catholic priest of the Salesians of Don Bosco, and he joins me from Campano, Rome. Thank you so much, Father, for joining me at this time.
Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure.
I hope you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you. So what is, first of all, let's begin with this question. What is the conclave and why is it such a secretive and sacred process?
Yeah, the conclave, actually, it's a gathering of the eligible cardinals who can elect the Pope. So the process is sacred because it's a process that has to do with the election of the spiritual leader of the entire Catholic Church. It is both a divine and human element together. It is secretive. In order to respond to this question, we need to go a bit to the history. In the first millennium, there was the election of the Pope was determined a lot by some secular influences, and then there was no the conclave as we know it today. The conclave as we know it today actually started in one way or the other from 1261 when there was the election of Pope Gregory the 10th. Actually, that was in the 1268.
All right. So sorry to cut you short, Father Theophilus, now. But can you just explain to us how the cardinals are selected to participate in the conclave? Briefly, please.
The selection of the cardinals is very simple. It is simply based on the cardinals who have not yet completed 80 years. So only those who are less than 8 years can effectively participate at the conclave. Initially, it is presided by a general meeting where all the cardinals, which they are over 255 at the moment, but only the 135 of them who are not up to 80 can vote at the cardinal electors.
Okay. Now, what qualifications or qualities are, typically considered in choosing a new pope?
Yeah, actually, this is what was going to be done during the first, the kind of General Assembly of the Cardinals, where a kind of profile will be, profiling will be done to enunciate some characteristics and then of the present Pope to lead and guide the church today. For sure, apart from the spiritual qualities, but also the human and then the capacity also to govern, which are also considered in this case. Today, there are two wings, both the conservatives and then the progressives. So we'll see which one will. It's about just the cardinals being attuned to the Holy Spirit to understand whom the Holy Spirit has chosen to lead his church. So.
All right, Father Theophilus, what is the process of voting inside the Sistine Chapel like? For example, how many votes are needed to elect a pope?
Yeah, the votings are done twice in the morning and twice in the evening until they are able to get the 2/3 majority of the voters. For example, now we have about 135 votes. Means once they have 90 voters, then they will have already pope.
So can you give us a difference between, the white and the black smoke when there's a decision or no decision to be made?
Yeah, the black smoke simply means that the cardinals have not been able to gain the 2/3 majority, and then some of the cardinals who have accepted to take up the responsibility as the Supreme Pontiff. And then once we have that 2/3 majority and the person has accepted, then the white smoke is, we have the white smoke, which signals that we have a pope.
All right, now this question has been in the minds of a lot of Africans. Is it possible for a cardinal from Africa or even Nigeria to be elected pope in this modern era?
Of course, as a kind of possibility, yes, because all the cardinals who are participating, any of them could be elected pope. However, theoretically speaking, I don't know, this is my own opinion. Maybe the church is not yet ready for an African pope, but who knows? The cardinals themselves will decide in listening to the Holy Spirit. So from the political point of view, and then it's a bit difficult to see the church now or from the global point of view, not getting African pope, but it is a possibility. It's a possibility. There are some names already coming up from the global world, like the Cardinal Traxin, Cardinal Sarah, and so on. So it's a possibility. It's a possibility.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Father Theophilus, for speaking to us on this.
Thank you so much. You're welcome. Have a nice evening.
Well, with that, we'll take a quick break, and when we come back, the news continues. Stay with us. Still in other news from around the world, at least 11 people have been killed after a car was driven into a crowd at a street festival in Vancouver, police have confirmed. Our Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney said more than 20 people were injured in the incident, which occurred at approximately 3:14 GMT on Sunday. Meanwhile, police have arrested a 30-year-old male suspect and confirmed it was not an act of terrorism. Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney called it a car ramming attack. Witnesses described scenes of chaos with victims struck near food trucks. One vendor said customers waiting for food were among those killed. Emergency services flooded the scene, and an investigation is ongoing to determine the motive behind the deadly rampage.
Gather and to celebrate the vibrancy of the Filipino-Canadian community. 9 people were killed, and more than 20 were injured in what the Vancouver police are describing as a car ramming attack. I would like to commend the quick and compassionate actions of those at the scene and of our first responders. An investigation is ongoing.
And in the world of sports, Premier League side Liverpool have made history by winning their 20th Premier League title after a dramatic 5-1 victory over Spurs. Join Onyinyechi Obaro for more updates.
Sport. Defending champion Jamiu Ayonwale and Shukurat Ayela Begon will begin their title defense on Monday, 28th of April at the 5th Michael and Felicia Alabi Memorial in Osun State. Ayonwale, representing River State, won the 2024 men's title, while Kwara's Ayela Begon dominated the women's singles with a 4-0 win over Bose Odusoya. This year, Ayonwale will face challengers like Omar Amadi and Abdul Basit Abdul Fatai, while Ayela Begon battles rivals including Odusoya and Aminat Fashola. Over 50 teams from across Nigeria will compete at the newly built tournament hall from April 28 to May 2. For 11.5 million naira in prizes alongside daily live entertainment. Nigeria Super Eagles will take on Russia in an international friendly on June 6, 2025 at the Luzhniki Stadium in Moscow. It will be the first ever senior meeting between the two sides. Russia, currently unranked by FIFA following their suspension from the international competitions, continues to build their football. Nigeria, ranked 43rd, will use the fixture to fine-tune preparations for the 2026 World Cup qualifiers and the 2025 African Cup of Nations. The match also marks Russia's return to Luzhniki Stadium, which last hosted a national team game in 2021. After the Moscow clash, Russia will meet Belarus. Before traveling to Russia, Nigeria will compete in the Unity Cup against Ghana, Jamaica and Trinidad and Tobago in May. Liverpool secured their 20th top-flight English League title with a commanding 5-1 victory over Tottenham Hotspur at Anfield. And its slot side, now on 82 points, have pulled clear of Arsenal and Manchester City, sealing the title with 4 games remaining. It marks Slot's first trophy since succeeding Jurgen Klopp, under whom Liverpool ended a 30-year wait for a Premier League crown in 2020. The Reds matched Manchester United's record of 20 English titles and extended the tally to 70 major honours overall. Mohamed Salah had been pivotal, delivering 28 goals and 18 assists this season. His outstanding form strengthened his case for Player of the Season and Ballon d'Or recognition as Liverpool celebrates another era of dominance. Finally, in the world of sport, Ethiopia's Tigist Assefa surged to victory in a world record for the women's only field in the London Marathon, while Kenya's Sebastian Sawe triumphed in the men's race. Olympic silver medalist Assefa bossed clear of 2021 winner Joycelyn Jepkosgei of Kenya, with 10 kilometers to go before crossing the line in 2 hours, 15 minutes and 50 seconds. Ashefa beats the previous record set by Peres Jepcheche of Kenya in London last year by 26 seconds. Jeb Kosgei finished second, nearly 3 minutes behind, with 2023 winner Olympic champion Stephen Hassan of the Netherlands in third. In the men's race, debutant Sebastian Sewa kicked up on a little over 10 kilometers remaining and his rivals were unable to respond, with the Kenyan finishing in 2 hours, 2 minutes, 27 seconds. Half-marathon world record holder Jacob Kiplimo of Uganda was over a minute down in second on his full marathon debut, and 2024 winner Alexander Motiso Munyao came in third. And that's it in the world of sport. I am Onyinyechi Obaru.
That's all at this hour. But before we go, let's take another look at some of our major stories. We told you that all eyes turn to conclave as Pope Francis' tomb opens to public. We also told you that insecurity in Borno, where Boko Haram allegedly kills 14 farmers, 2 civilian JTF in separate attacks. Finally, you heard that presidency hits back at opposition, dismisses plans to dismantle democracy amidst gale of defections. Remember, you may send your eyewitness report to the WhatsApp number on the screen. Do follow us on social media. We are at News Central TV. You can watch News Central live on DSTV channel 422, GoTV channel 23, Star Times channel 274, Avo TV, and YouTube. Many thanks for watching. I'm Darshan Usman.